trickle in. We have a really good attendance today, and so we're going to hopefully have a good flow of questions on RefectoCil. So I'll just do an introduction first of all before first question. Can you hear me clearly? Can you see? Those are two important questions. Can you hear me and can you see me? Type it in your little chat box section so I can see. Perfect. Yes. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So first of all, I just want to introduce myself if there's anybody new in here that hasn't done the RefectoCil webinars or any of the webinars. My name is Chrissy, and I'm the head trainer for North America for the RefectoCil brand. So I do these educational webinars, and when we go back to our normal settings again, we go to schools and educate. We help the distributors to have classes for all the professionals. So that's where I'm at with the education I deal with RefectoCil for North America. I also want to extend out CBON group our love and the care, and we hope that everybody is doing okay during this time. We know it's a very difficult times that we're living right in this period right now, and I know some people might have been affected with the COVID or had somebody that's been affected. Maybe some of us might have lost someone. So we want to extend our love, and we hope that everybody keep safe. If we can follow as much as we can, as best as we can, the protocols that WHO and CDC has in place for us to keep our social distancing, to stay home the best we can if we can work from home. So for example, doing these webinars right now are awesome. We know a lot of people have brought their work online so that we can still be able to educate and help businesses and help our businesses to keep going, right? So I'm also very happy that people who are enjoying these webinars, so we know something is it's going well. Okay, so once again, we extend our love to everyone and stay safe, and let's flatten the curve. Okay, so I think that we're good. We're with the, let me just see. So Sandy, just give me 1 second. We're gonna start asking questions. Let me just see if there's still a couple of people trickling in. Okay, so this is gonna be a Q&A, a question and answer webinar. So we're gonna be able to throw up the questions on the chat section of our computer. Just give me some time to be able to answer so I don't miss anybody. So we can actually start answering some of these questions. And the first one is from Sandy. And hello, Rachel. Welcome. So Sandy says, why would you say this is a better brand than any other? I love it, but would love to be able to explain why to clients if asked. So with RefectoCil, they do their best because they want their ingredients, their products to be able to be safe for your clients, be easy for you to apply. So for example, if we choose our lift solutions, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong area of the camera. If we look at our lift or curl solutions, they have inside, for example, they work really hard to put ingredients inside their solutions that are going to be aiding in your hair growth, also aiding in the moisture of your hair, so that during this procedure, because we are processing our hairs when we're doing a tint or lift or curl, and now with the brow lamination. So what can we do to give these hair care? So they have collagen and cysteine, which we know that collagen is the natural protein substance in our body, so it helps with the development of the hair. And then we also have the cysteine, which are amino acids. And amino acids are placed a lot in our beauty products to provide moisture. So a lot of products you got to do as well your research, and if you're also an esthetician, you might know a lot about the ingredients. So if there's a lift out there that might have, for example, keratin in it, what I had to learn from hairstylists, because I'm not a hairstylist, is that keratin, if you don't follow the actual timing they tell you to do for the solutions, and you go more, you'll actually you reverse like the process, and instead of making the hair soft, because this is the same concept with your hair when you're trying to do a keratin treatment to smooth it, instead of it being smooth, it actually becomes rough, damaged, and breaks. So that's a big concern that our question we get at trade shows when we get lineups to buy our product is, does your lash lift damage your lashes? And it doesn't. Follow the protocols. With any brand that you do, you must follow the directions of the manufacturer in order to have proper results and not be damaging your client's hair or brows, hair in the lashes or brows. So I hope kind of you understand the concept of where RefectoCil is coming from and why it would be a better brand. Also being innovative, trying to come out with everything to be able to expand your services. I was gonna say, you know, the brow lamination with the tinting, if it's original or sensitive, you know, you want to be able to cater to your sensitive clientele too, because some people could be allergic to the original tint. If you're sensitive to hair box dyes, you can be having a reaction to the original. So if you want to keep using the family of RefectoCil because you love it, well, why not bring in the sensitive line and still be able to treat your customers with RefectoCil services and not giving them any allergic reaction. So I hope this kind of answers your question, Sandy. Is there any, let's ask, hi Chantel and hi Ashley. Hello, more people are trickling in. So I see some people trying to write questions. If you have questions, ask them along. I did have papers with me that I actually printed out extra questions. Sorry, I actually printed some extra questions of what I usually get a lot from at trade shows or in classes. So I'll have these papers too, and maybe I can read them out loud, and maybe it's questions that you might have been thinking about but didn't come to your mind on today's webinar. Okay, so we have, thank you. So we have a oh, you're welcome, Sandy. I'm glad that was able to answer your question. So oh, it's a bit glitchy. Am I freezing? When it's glitchy, is it pausing and going? It's pausing and going, it's doing the same thing. Do you think it's the connection? Okay, let me know if it persists, because it has been working well with our other webinars, so just keep me posted if it persists. Okay, so there's some people saying not for me.
Yes, it depends on their internet connection.
So it's better now. Thank you, Ashley. So for some of the people that it's working or not working, it could also depend on your internet connection. I know when I am watching webinars from home, if I'm watching, I have a hard time. They get booted out all the time from the webinar. So I hope it doesn't cause too much of a distraction for you guys today if that's going to happen. This webinar is going to be recorded, but any questions you have and you want to get answered, at the end of this webinar, I'll have a slide that I'm going to show, because as well at the end of this webinar, I'm going to let you know how you can win a mystery prize. So stay till the end. It's not a long webinar, but the email will be at the end of the last slide. Copy it, and then you can always, whenever you have a question come to your mind, you can always email it to me and I will email them, especially now that we have this time that I can answer a lot of questions for everyone. Okay, so we'll get to that slide at the end. I prepare a slide because it's a Q&A. I don't really have any slides, but I did prepare a slide with our social media, our Facebook and our emails and website. Okay. Can you go through the product knowledge of the product? So product knowledge, so this is a question from Tiffany. I hope I didn't freeze with anybody. Somebody did ask though about brow lamination webinar. We already had done one about a week or so ago, and it was posted onto our RefectoCileducation.com website. If you keep going to that website, we have a bunch of links out for free educational webinars for the month of April. And towards, the end of April, we will have a brow lamination webinar again, okay, at brow styling with tint. So go check, because we have several of those, and register from them from now, because it's limited spots available, okay? So we will go through the brow lamination again in April. So sorry, back to Tiffany. Can you go to the product knowledge of the products? Is it when you mean product knowledge, did you want to know what types of products we carry and what are they for? Just answer me that one back. And then Wendy, with brow lamination, does the person have to have a lot of hair? Wendy, very good question, because I actually did a recording on my sister's brow and myself as well, because my brows are very thin. I give the illusion of thickness as well. So I always seen videos before brow lamination ours was launched. I would always see videos of it being done on thick, luscious brows already. So I thought to myself, am I and the rest of the population that has really thinning brows at loss? And I actually did it on myself when they gave out the product for me to test. And it's like magic. My brows look so much thicker. I'm going to be posting these pictures on our Instagram and as well on my RefectoCil Browista one that I've created as well. It is good for people who have thinning brows. I did a video recording on my sister as well, because my sister from past, she overplucked and doesn't have a lot of hair, and I did a brow lamination and tinted it afterwards, and amazing results. You know, your brows will frame your face. So if not necessarily thinning brows will, like if you want thin brows can suit everybody, but for people who have had past errors and they're overplucked or they had a botched job done with their brows, the brow lamination is amazing. I speak highly of it. I love the results. It's done on myself as well to have thicker looking brows, and even to see every individual hair a little bit separated, because you can control it on how much separated you want the hairs to be, but even that separation too gives that full fluffy look. So yes, I get really excited with brow lamination, but yes, you can use it on thin brows too. So I answered that question for Wendy, I hope. So back to Tiffany's question. So let's just, if we can pause on the questions for a second, because the one for Tiffany is gonna take a little bit longer. So she just wants to know the product range, what we have. So it's kind of hard to see here, but we have our complete tinting line of our original colors. Okay, so it's 8 colors plus a bleaching paste. Okay, so your bleaching paste is to lighten your brows. So we have our black, our graphite, our blue black, our blue, our red, our chestnut, our brown, our natural brown, our light brown, and then our bleaching paste. Okay, so that's the range of the oxidative colors, you will call it, original or oxidative colors. And then we have our oxidants, which are liquid and cream, which not a lot of people have realized we do have 2 types of oxidants. They both do the exact same result. It's just texture preference. I love the cream because I get a more thicker consistency, especially if I'm tinting beards as well. I want it to stay on there, okay? So we have our tint removers. A lot of people don't realize that we have tint remover. If they'll call me and they'll say, oh my goodness, the brows are so dark for my customer and I don't know what to do. I tried water. If you have a tint remover with you, this is going to alleviate that panic you might have and your customer to feel at ease afterwards, because you're going to cool down the color, like you're going to tone down the color by using the tint remover, so it's not so abrasive for them, okay? And then we also have our micellar eye makeup remover. This one I can show, I have here. The micellar eye maker, a beautiful, beautiful product. I've also had feedback from people saying that a lot of liquid, like eye makeup removers, they are very sensitive, and I'm one of those candidates. I always use cloths, pre-moistened cloths, to remove my makeup. I love to wear mascara, right? So when I use liquid ones, I always have a reaction. So if your clients come in and they have sensitivity to eye makeup remover and solutions, this product is amazing. I've heard a lot of people say that they're very sensitive and they've never had reaction to this. 3 benefits to your eye makeup remover. First one, micellar, amazing, has this magnetism kind of property to remove waterproof mascara. Also, it's non-oily. We want our makeup remover to be non-oily, okay? It can impede with services if you leave residues of oil onto your hairs, on your lashes and brow or skin, okay? The third amazing thing is that it's lash strengthening. So I like to say hair strengthening, because even if I do a bleaching on the brows, and because a bit of more of a deeper processing, I love to wipe it off with the eye makeup remover because of those lash strengthening properties inside there, like those amino acids. I get intense moisture in the hairs after I bleach, which we need that. Even when you go get your hair processed and you've gone through bleaching, you can feel that it sucked out your hydration, right? It's your moisture, it's very dry, and they have to apply an oil or a mask. So this works like that. It's amazing, okay? Then we have, so I already talked about our oxidant, and then, so that's our line for our original. We also have a sensitive line. With the sensitive line, it only has 3 colors. The 3 colors are your black, your natural, your medium brown, your dark brown. And you have your tint remover that's specifically for the sensitive brand. And then you have you can use your eye makeup remover from the original. You can use the protection cream from the original. I forgot to mention about the protection cream. We'll go through that. And then it needs a developer gel. So remember, this is a question I get a lot from people calling me and saying, oh, the sensitive didn't work. And I asked them, did you buy developer gel? And they say, no, it's because they see it on this table of whatever distributor you go to, supplier you go to, and they see it with the rest of the original tints. And they just pick it up thinking that they could use the oxidant. But no, the system with the sensitive works like a henna. It does not penetrate into your hair shaft. It stays on top. It coats the outer layer of your hair. So in that sense, it needs a different system. And then that note, it needs a developer gel. So we have a silver nitrate. So make sure that if you're going to buy the sensitive colors, buy the developer gel silver nitrate. Okay, that's the range of the sensitive. I'm gonna ask the rest of the questions on the glue too. Okay, I'm just gonna finish with these ones. The RefectoCil protection cream. It works 3 ways. First of all, it's a protection from any staining, unnecessary staining to the skin, because with the original tint, we know that if you touch skin, it can create sensitivity. It's meant for hair, to penetrate into the hair. So use this, and also if you stain around and it doesn't look uniformed, you're sitting there trying to rub it off your customer's skin and can create sensitivity. So using the protection cream, amazing. Second thing is that you can use it as an eye mask. So when I do eyelash tinting, I love to use the protection papers. So it's 2-sided. One side it's rough and the other side smooth. On the rough side, I apply the protection cream, put it at the bottom of their lashes, and they can sit there during that 10 minutes I'm applying their tint for their lashes and get a nice intense moisturizing eye treatment. Awesome, they love it. Good added quality to your service. Okay. The third thing it does, you can use this as a massage cream. So RefectoCil is pretty big on at the end of the service. So at the end of your brow lamination service, lashless service, tinting service, whether it's brows or lashes, give them a little massage, a little bit of those movements that you work around the temple, around this, the occipital of your eye, doing these little movements, spending about a minute, they will love that. They will say, hey, wherever I went the other time, they didn't do a massage. It's a nice touch to finish your service, okay? Because we have a lot in the line, when we go to the lift, I'm just going to end it off with our aftercare. Then I'm going to go to the lift questions because we have a lot of questions about the glue. For our styling gel, amazing aftercare product. In your salon or your spa, or your practitioner, your beauty bar, wherever you're working out of, have this in your bar. Like if you have your lash and brow bar, it's already in there. If you don't have one, I advise get one. It looks beautiful on your countertop. It speaks for itself and makes a sale on its own. But this styling gel has properties to help with protecting, hydrating the hair and the treatment. So after you've done a tint or a lift, whichever, once you put this on the brows or lashes, it hydrates, protects, and seals in that service. If the customer complains that they have a hard time keeping the tints on their brows, the reason could be, or mostly their brows, the tint doesn't stay. It could be heat factor, you're in a hot country. It could be like during the summer seasons, they're swimmers, they're gymnasts, you sweat a lot, environmental properties like pollution or being excessive when you shower and making the tint lighten, they can use this every day to prolong it, to make it last a little bit longer for them. Also, I use this to tame down my brows as a primer because my brows get really unruly, which now the brow lamination helps too. But this also helps to hydrate them before I fill in my brows or what I like to do to my brows. Okay, so let me just look at the questions for the glue. Give me 1 second. I always have a hard time, Natasha, with your
2 fingers.
So hold this and up. Hold it. Oh, not hold it. Oh. And I can go down this way. Okay, so let's see who I haven't answered. Are the products only available through suppliers or can they be purchased directly from the company? So the products cannot be, we as CBON, we are the master distributorship. So we have distributor beauty suppliers in place, distributors all across North America that can sell the, that do sell RefectoCil. So you can't buy directly from us because we don't sell to salons or spas, to the professionals. So if you do contact the manufacturer, they'll just send you to what region you're in. So if you're in the North America region, they're going to send your information to us. So if you're inquiring to find out what distributor close to you carries RefectoCil, just send us an email. You do it via our website. Send in your question or send us in where you're located, and we can give you the closest distributor. Okay. So Janelle, I have struggled with the glue doing lifts. One eye always works well, but I always have one eye that always has lashes that pop off during the process, even with all the suggestions I've tried. Any tips? Okay, so it's interesting that it's just one eye, which I'm wondering maybe could that be that one eye is a little bit more sensitive? Do you find, I have some customers too that out of one eye, they always tear, or that eye just tends to be a little bit more sensitive. So if that's the case, could it be maybe having a Q-tip prepared or even given to your customer? Usually I like to control it, but having a Q-tip prepared that if their eye is starting to moisten, and it's starting to feel like there are tears coming on, they can put the Q-tip to hold it, and so the eye doesn't get too saturated because the tears can, the moisture can start going to the lashes and making them pop off. And my second question would be the tips and tricks that you're trying to, that you say you've done, is that also adhering more glue on top of the lashes? So what we'd suggest to, and before we go to the glue, are you using your non-oily eye makeup remover and then your micellar? So your saline solution, it's a must to use a saline solution because this degreases anything that's in that area of the hairs. So if you haven't done that, you will have a hard time with the glue trying to adhere to the hair. So make sure that you've done those 2 steps for prep with the saline solution. Then when you've rolled up the lashes, when you're rolling up the lashes, if the glue seems to start to get very stringy, that means the glue has started to get dry, which means that those sections where it's gotten dry because you've overworked it, they will pop off either now, like either when you're, before you apply the solution or during the solution. So what I always say is re-wet with the glue your lashes, and then make sure you roll them okay down, but don't let that glue get completely dried. Once the lashes are all on the pad, then you're gonna take the glue, and no rolling. What I do is I take the glue, I dab it on the tips, because the tips of your lashes do not get the solution at all. They're old growth, we don't wanna do anything to them, so they stay free from solution, but you can put the glue to hold them down. Then what I do, because there's new growth, I take the glue and I dab it in the center of the lashes so that I won't, in the center, that secures those new growth. This is success for me, and whoever I tell other people, they've had good success with it. Maybe 1 or 2 hair popped up, but it's easy to put down 1 or 2 hairs after the solution's removed than a whole row. It takes time, right? So I'm gonna see at the end to see if you answered. If this is types of tricks that you've done, let me know. Nancy, the RefectoCil glue doesn't work at all for me. I've been using another brand. So with what I mentioned right now, Nancy, have you tried these techniques, these tips and tricks? Because once again, at the end, I'm going to apply an email that's for education, and you can email me and I can give you some tips and tricks in written form for the glue. And there's some little bit added stuff that I've mentioned right now that can help as well. So let me know if you've tried these techniques, okay? This was for Nancy. Carlene, hello, Carlene. Rachel Brooks, I've struggled with the glue, keeps letting go. Once again, Rachel, have you done the suggestions that I just mentioned right now? So I'm gonna be going further down into the chat to see. Wendy, for tinting beards, is it the same process as eyebrows, and do you focus on the areas that need more color? So tinting beards, you can generally say it's the same steps as you can say from the eyelash or eyebrow tinting, but more product is needed. As well as I tend to use just the oxidant cream to create that thick substance so it stays onto the beard hair. So I found that sometimes I've had to leave, depending on what that client wants to achieve, if he wants darkness, but also because the hair is coarser for the male, the structure of the hair is different, you need to leave it longer. So I've left it on. I start counting from 10 minutes though. 5 minutes does nothing, especially if they have gray hairs in them. I've left up to 20 minutes on a beard to completely give that uniform look, because in some areas they had brown, black, and some gray. Now, you can always remove it on areas that have captured the tint, like how much tint shade that you want, and then just continue focusing on the areas, the timing longer on the areas that need more darkening or coverage, because of the gray hair is very, very stubborn and coarser in a male's beard. So you gotta leave it longer. But otherwise your oxidant, obviously it's not gonna be 2 centimeters. I've had to use half a bottle of tint with 240 drops of oxidant to help make the beard. I would say it's a medium type of beard, not a full length beard. That's a little bit harder, but it was a good beard that had maybe a growth of 2 weeks, I guess you can say, and it worked out pretty well. So I hope that answers your question. We do have steps too for beards, even types of colors of beards you're going to encounter, because we know that if you have a beard, a lot of beards have very reddish undertone. So you're going to be using a lot of graphite. I mix my black, brown, and graphite together a lot for beards. So we do have an instruction on that. Once again, you can email me. I can provide these for you when you see the email at the end. Okay, so I hope I answered your question, Wendy. Ashley, what is the ingredient in the micellar water that will remove waterproof makeup? Good question. That is a very good question, which I can always ask. I got to find out what is the active ingredient that makes it micellar as well. So let me just, that's a really good question, good for me as well. Let me just check with the manufacturer, Ashley, and I can always get back to you. Because there's a bunch of ingredients in here. I just got to find the one that makes it micellar. Okay, that's the technology that's helping remove waterproof mascara. So for sure, I'll get that back to you. Okay, okay, Ashley. Thank you so much for explaining the product line. I learned a lot. Hi, Tiffany. There is much more in the product line. So what you can do is visit as well our RefectoCil website, so that you can see the whole product range. It's kind of hard during this question and answer to go through the whole product line, but I will be holding variety of webinars that will cover the whole product line. I will have a lash webinar, RefectoCil education, yes. So if you go as well to the RefectoCil education, you can even watch clips on how to use the variety of the line of RefectoCil, and then actually going as well to the RefectoCil website to see like complete product description and features and benefits type of thing, right? But there's a lot more that you can do. And like I said, for our webinars, we have for the lash styling, I'm going to be talking about the lift and the curl. For the tint, for the I'll do some sensitive webinars. I'll do some male clientele webinars. So keep checking our RefectoCil education for these links that go up, and keep following these wonderful like free webinars that we're able to provide now to continue your education and your knowledge of RefectoCil, and to be able to add on these new services when we all get back to work, right? Okay, so let's go to Nancy. I'm a distributor, but I don't think you've ever referred me. Is there anything I need to do to be referred? Nancy, that will be an email that you would need to send to the RefectoCil website for our other member to be able to answer you. I'm not quite sure what distributor you're from, but send us an email and we can go from there to see what the concern is, what the issue is, and how to be referred to, okay? Janelle, oh, Janelle, this is great. So glue can go on top of the lashes after. Yes, so after you have rolled up all the lashes up onto the pad, you can apply more glue. Now this is for the lift, not for the curl, okay? Because the curl you want to use the less possible glue. Even if you don't need to use it, don't use it, because the glue are different in both systems. Don't intermix them. But yes, you can apply the glue of the lift system on top of the lashes to secure them down. Because the glue is water soluble, the solution number 1, which is your lash perm solution, it's breaking down that glue. That's the reason why the lashes are popping up. But once I've done that security on the tip of the lashes and on the center of the lashes, I don't have that issue. Unless you have extremely, extremely stubborn lashes, you might have a 1 or 2 lash that pops up. But this has been success for me, where I'm not sitting there frustrated, because it can be frustrating. Your lashes are popping up, your solution is not done the timing of 8 minutes, and you're sitting there holding it down with a brush, and then who knows if that solution is going to penetrate okay with the brush being pressed onto the hair. So you don't want to have to think about those issues, right? So I've had success with just putting the glue on the tips and on the center because of the new growth. But I don't go back and roll them. I just dab it, let it dry, that 10 or 15 seconds, and then get my solution and start putting it on. Okay, so I hope that happened. I hope that answers your question, Janelle. Actually, Janelle, you've answered another one. You asked another one. So I've done the prep ray, but with the tiering, I never considered that. So we'll pay attention to that. And with the glue drying more, I didn't realize. I might have been letting the glue dry too long before getting the lashes on. If glue is on top of the lashes, not under on the pad for the new growth, well, it's still a process. You still got to put glue at the bottom of the pad. You still have to, because meaning on the top, once you place the silicone pad on top of your eye, you place a strip of glue on top of the pad. You have to do that. The methods I've explained to you to add more glue doesn't eliminate that step. So put the glue, roll the lashes, and what I'm saying is, when you're rolling it, what people tend to do is overly roll it, because you want to get the lashes nice and straight and not clumped together. So the glue dries as you're going over and over and over and over to fix them nicely. So take more glue, wet it, and keep working at it until you're done working with it. Don't go crazy with the glue. Don't overly wet it, because then it becomes too much glue that gets built up. So, because when you see strings, that means your glue has dried. And if you still have lashes you want to roll up, wet the glue, okay? Then apply that security of glue on top of the lashes on the tip and on the center. So I hope that answered your question, okay? Let me know. And Wendy, thanks for the beard tinting information. Approximately how would you charge? So beard tinting varies because of, how much product you're using. So I always started at 40 from 45, depending on the growth. What level is their growth at? So if it's, I've done mustache, tinting, surprisingly. If I had a male client that, you know, he wanted to look a little bit more manly, but his mustache doesn't give him justice to make him look manly because he has a very baby face. And I tinted his mustache, made it look fuller. And, you know, for that, I wouldn't charge 45, I'd probably charge maybe 30, just like almost like a brow tint, because he didn't have that much hair. But as soon as the growth starts to become mustache, goatee, and sideburns area, then you're going to increase. So that's why I say if it's all that, but it's not a big growth, I start at 45. It can go up to 65, depending on the growth. Okay, so it's just that you have to keep going back to the hair too sometimes too, because if the male's hair it's very thick, I feel sometimes it sucks the tint, and I gotta go back. I always have some leftover. I always make sure I have some leftover tint so that I can use that to do touch-ups and areas that I feel had more hair sucked it in more. You know what I mean? So it goes to how much product you're gonna use and how much the growth is. So mustache maybe start from 30, 35, and then increase it as you reach full growth beard. Okay. Tamara does a glutathione latex. It's latex free, the lift glue. So we're good with that, latex free. Ashley, you're very welcome. I will get back to you on that. I won't forget. If I do, you know where to get me. You know where to email me. Tiffany, perfect. I will look on the website. I plan on attending the other webinars. Perfect. Happy to have you attend the rest of them to increase your knowledge on being able to use the complete range of RefectoCil for your services. I enjoy it so much. The versatility of how many customers I can help. I don't leave anybody out there. We have a custom coloring webinar coming up. Don't quote me on the date, sorry. I have so many webinars coming up, but once again, if you go to refectocileducation.com, you'll see it. But we have a custom coloring to see how you can create even unique colors, maybe even for those younger in your clientele that want that cool retro look, or that, you know, we can do the cotton candy pinks, the purples, the blues. You know, a lot of estheticians might be afraid to mix color because we say we're not hairdressers, right? But now you can learn to do that and just expand your clientele that's coming in and be able to cater to anybody. Okay, so happy to have you on to the webinars for everybody. Wendy, did you say that you do not add extra glue on the curl? Okay, so let's go to the curl system really quickly, because I love using the curl. And once again, we have a webinar coming up next, which is lash styling with the lift and curl, and you get to see how you can use both and what type of clientele, what's the difference between both. But with the glue in the curl, it's a white glue. So I know a lot of people have made that mistake and intermix the glues. Try not to. It's not going to make your life easy. It's going to make it harder. Okay, so the white glue, it does not dissolve quick, and it's only meant, and it dries very fast, extremely fast. As soon as it gets exposed, you must make sure you know what hair you're going to put it on and get to that hair right away, because it does dry quickly. And the more you keep on putting, because it dries so quickly, it starts to build up and get very hard. So because the curl, if anybody here knows the system of the curl, it's cotton pressed rollers that are pre-adhesive. So these rollers are easy to bend to reach the curvature of your eye, but also they're pre-adhesive. So that's another reason why I wouldn't add more glue, because the glue already on these rollers is enough to hold the hairs when you roll them up. But there's cases, if you're doing it on a male clientele, if you're doing it on lashes that are extremely volume, you have to get the glue. And when you come to the webinar, there'll be tips and tricks for the glue that you have to use it very limited. Okay, so hopefully you can attend that webinar. Wendy, the lash lift, I think it's April 17th. It's the next one coming up. I'm going to have it at the end of the slide, so I hope you can attend that so you can see with the glue as well. With the curl as well, how you can put that, factor that into your services, or learn who to cater it to. Okay. Amy, I hope I'm saying that right. The glue in my RefectoCil kit is white in color, not clear. If it's white, that's curl, the curl system. I do not use that glue because it did not work for me. From watching some online videos, I noticed others appear to have clear, transparent RefectoCil glue. Was the glue reformulated by any chance? Amy, the glue was not reformulated. We have two systems. One is so this is, here is our lash lift system. So our lash lift system comes with silicone pads. So this is like the trend that you see a lot now. And the glue is clear. And that's the one that people have a little bit of an issue because it dissolves quickly, that you have to secure it with the glue. Now the curl kit, I don't have it with me, but it's a blue package, not a green like this one, emerald green. It's a bluer package. And that has cotton pressed rollers with a pre-adhesive on them. So completely different structure in the pads that you're using and completely different glues. The glues are white. So if you bought the blue kit, that's a curl system for your cotton pressed rollers. Okay, so just double check that. And if you didn't buy the kit and you just bought open stock, make sure that if you're buying the lift silicone pads, then you're going to have to buy the lift clear glue. But if you're going to buy the rollers separately, you have to buy the white glue, the white curl glue. Okay, so just check that with your system that you have at home if you bought a kit. Okay. Janelle, you answered all my questions and then some. Thank you. I'm so happy. This is like the reason why I wanted to do a Q&A, because we do have the time now. I have the time now much more to be able to answer all your questions. So I thought, let's take this opportunity and be able to answer what's concerning. And I get to know you and I get to know what you're using, what you like. So I'm really happy that you enjoying the webinar and I'm able to answer your questions. A goal. Wendy, thank you. You're welcome. Ashley, what makes the booster different than other growth serums? So the boosters in other growth serums are peptides. That is the most common ingredient in there that's helping to boost the hair to grow. In ours is black sea rod oil. So it's a different ingredient that's helping the lashes to boost and grow. And I've actually been using it on my own lashes and my brows because I did have a little oops with someone trying to shape my brows, and I need the hair to grow back, and it's been amazing. It's been helping the hair on my brows grow back. With a different ingredient like that, because I've been using a lot peptides, all the peptides products out there before I came to knowledge of our RefectoCil booster. The nice thing about a RefectoCil booster as well, it's a 6 milliliter, so it's a bigger bottle, because you can use it on both brows and lashes as opposed to having to buy two different systems or two different products, two different bottles, right? It has a nice sponge tip to apply on your brows and your lashes, cute little bottle with holographic labeling. So it's that black sea rod oil ingredient that's going to help boost the hair as opposed to peptides. Okay, so I hope that answered your question, Ashley. You answered my question. Please ignore my question. Which question? You asked another one, Amy? I don't know if you asked another one, but I'm glad I answered your question. Wendy, thanks. Could use the review. Yeah, so we all could use a review. I even do my reviews with the manufacturer every so often. We have our train the trainers. You know, we keep up to date, keep our knowledge fresh, keep to know that if we've missed something about the product, we've got to remind ourselves. So reviews are always awesome. So I'm happy for that, and I'm always happy to have everyone attend the rest of our webinars as well. It's a time right now to, unfortunately with what's going on, it's a good time right now to get all this education in, because then we can come with full force when we're back to work. And you know, a lot of companies, a lot of your businesses might be suffering, but with this knowledge and with newer services, you can excite people say I'm launching now brow lift before you weren't, this could bring in more people back again. So hopefully your business can pick up to what it used to be. It will take time, but it will gradually build to that with being able to do these webinars now and gain more knowledge and gain more insight as to what new treatments can I, with RefectoCil, can I include. Easy add-on services. You do facials. Well, let me add on a tint. Let me add on a brow lamination now. Maybe during when a mask is being done, when I'm putting on a mask, can I do brow lamination? Do you know what I mean? So this will aid your business quite well for when we get back to our normal routine. Okay. Let me just go a little bit lower. Oops. Thanks, that was very helpful. You're welcome, Amy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ashley, C-Rod, not seaweed. C-Rod, R-O-D. But C, you got the right part. So C-Rod oil is the ingredient, the active ingredient in the boosters for the RefectoCil. Okay. Yarrow, I have trouble covering white coarse brows. Okay, perfect. This is an awesome question to introduce our give me 1 second. Can we have 5 more minutes? Okay, so we're already gonna have about 5 more minutes for this. So I'm just gonna try to answer everybody's questions quick. I'm gonna try not to talk a lot. Sorry, I get really into it. Okay, so for your white coarse hairs, it might come to the point where you have to bleach them, because once they reach that bristly white coarseness, it will not grasp the color. So you would have to pre-soften them. It only takes about 3 minutes to, you mix your bleach with your oxidant cream, and you will be able to achieve that pre-softening to break down that gray hair, so that when you apply your tint, it's going to grasp that color, and you're only going to leave the color on for a minute because it takes it right away. Okay, so that's how you can help those white coarse bristly hairs. Okay, Yarrow, so I hope I answered that for you. We do have videos on the bleaching as well on our RefectoCil education, and I've done a webinar on bleaching as well, bleaching and custom coloring. Okay. Wendy, will the booster work on artificial lashes? What do you mean by artificial lashes? Like, mean if they had lash extensions, can you use the booster? So you kind of wouldn't want to encourage somebody, in my thinking, to use a booster, because what's going to happen is that if it's encouraging growth, the hair extensions won't last as long. The lash extensions, sorry, won't last as long. So they'll be coming back for more fill-up. But what I would suggest is when they give a break during the period of getting their next lash extensions, they could be using this growth serum to encourage growth. You don't want to do that during the lash lift, because it will prematurely release the lash extensions. So I hope I answered that question. Sandy, thank you so much. Your webinars are so informative. I'm so happy to hear that. I watched the brow lamination one as well, and I'm planning to watch several more on the website. Got to run, but I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Sandy, even for taking this opportunity this time. We are ending soon our webinar, so thank you for watching, and I hope to hear you in the next ones. Okay, thank you, Sandy. Okay, so let me see if I can get about two more minutes. Oh yes, so I'm gonna just see the end of the questions here, because I won't be able to answer anymore. Let me just see the last. I live in North Minnesota, and during winter months, I left the lash curl system in my car overnight with this. So I got a question from Fawn. So no more questions for now, because I just want to answer these 3 and show you the slides. So for Fawn, try not to leave your systems in the car, even though you want to keep it in a cool place. If it's winter season, that will freeze your glues too, and potentially even crack. So try not to leave it in the car. I'm assuming the solutions can still work. If you took the kit and it looked fine, they will still work, but try not to do that. Keep it in a home in a nice, cool, dry place, okay? Yarrow, thank you. Glad I did. Wendy, yes, lash extensions. So did that make sense, Wendy? That try not to use it for our lash extensions. And Carlene, thank you. Love your education videos. Look forward to the next one. Thank you so much, Carlene. I appreciate everybody's feedback because I need to as well see what I can change too with these webinars. So I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. So let me go. You're welcome, Wendy. So let me go now to the slide. Can you see it now? You can see it? Yeah. Can you guys see the slide? Okay, so when we go, can you just press this to go to the next one? Sorry. Okay, so in the slide, if you can see it on your page, on your computer, sorry. If you want to win a mystery prize from RefectoCil, do the following. If you're not already following us on Instagram, please do so. So it's at RefectoCil North America. And then second step, wasn't that easy? So second step is if you can upload on your posts on your Instagram a picture of yourself or a picture with you with a RefectoCil kit or you doing a service with RefectoCil or a product of RefectoCil. Upload a picture and tell us why you love RefectoCil in that post. And then don't forget to tag us, okay? And then we will direct message the winner. So get those posts going, follow us, upload them, and so we can see what you why you love RefectoCil, okay? So I'm just gonna leave the slide for a second, one more second, sorry. Everybody got the Instagram, the instructions for this mystery prize to, everybody's good? Because our last, sorry, you can do the, yeah, our last slide, thank you, Kelly. Our last slide just has where else you can go. So like us on RefectoCil North America, leave us reviews too. We appreciate the reviews as well. On our Facebook page, you can leave some reviews. As you can see in the next one, it says review us on Facebook. Visit RefectoCilEducation.com because that's your educational library there. We post all the recorded webinars on there for your time to go back. Oh, if say, oh, what did she say again in the webinar? Or wait, what were we supposed to do with the bleach or the glue? You can go back and review, and as well there's little mini video clips in a little bit faster to show the services, which are really cute and also great marketing to display as well in your salon. To play around, to be playing during on your TV so that people can see what services you offer, okay? And then for any educational assistance, please, you can email me directly to answer your questions, anything you might have at refectocil.education@cbongroup.com. So I'm gonna leave this page for you guys to either take a picture or write it down. And then our next webinar date is Friday, April 17th. So I was right. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So check your zone, your time zone. And it's going to be a lash styling by RefectoCil. And we're going to learn about the lift, the curl procedures, who to use on what, why, and troubleshooting as we did today. Okay. So I hope I can. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Awesome. Kelly registered for it. Good job. So I hope to hear everybody's in their chat on the next webinar, and keep your feedbacks coming. I appreciate the time everyone has spent today to be here with me. And for this, I want to say, oh, one more last question, Ashley. Will you be having a webinar training for trainers soon? I could set up one for train the trainers. Unfortunately, we had one that was canceled, but I could do that, and especially for trainer for brow lamination, but we will be having a brow lamination one, so that could be for all trainers as well. But you can email me if you have any requests. Send me an email so we can see what we can do for that. Okay, Ashley? So I want to thank everyone again. I want to wish everybody safe, health, and if we keep practicing these protocols the government has put in place for us, we'll be back strong than ever and get our businesses rolling again. Okay, I appreciate it. To the next webinar. Okay, thank you. Bye.